Right. But this is a very important unit, and we'll get into more details on inverse trigonometric functions too. So, inverse trigo, as they call it. So, when I say y equal to fx, a function of x equal to sine inverse x. Very clearly, if it's a function of x, then for a given value of x, it should give me only a unique output.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But if I say sine inverse half equal to say y, then I should actually get only one value of y. But this really gives me multiple values of y. Half then is sine y.
Yes, sir.
Y could be 30 degrees in the first quadrant. Y could also be in the second quadrant, 5 pi by 6. There are infinity of values of y. That means for a given x, I seem to be getting multiple values of y.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is not what a function is. That is not what a function is. Right? For a given x, I should get a unique output y. That's when it will be a function from x to y. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
I said all right. The various values of y, that means the various values of sine inverse x, I'm going to clip that interval. I'm going to clip that range. When I say y is sine inverse x, I'll only take values of y belonging to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. That means for a given x, if I have to find sine inverse x, then I look for values of y that lie in this interval. Right? This is the range of y. This is the range of y or range of sine inverse x. By construction, we say sine inverse x. I'll only try to find the value of sine inverse x, those angles, y's, that lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. This range of y is called principal values of sine inverse x. Of the function sine inverse x. So the principal value of sine inverse x is this. Sine inverse x will produce output that will always lie in this interval. Although theoretically, sine y, which is sine inverse x, can subscribe to various values, but amongst these various values, we take that one value which lies in the interval, in this case pi by 6, for example. That is the one that lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also, when I say y is sine inverse x, then this clearly means that sine y is x. If x is sine y, we know that sine y can never exceed 1. So x can never exceed 1 numerically. X must lie in the interval 1 to minus 1. Yes or no? That means if I have a function sine inverse x, by a function sine inverse x, its range, the values that y can assume, will be minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And its domain, that means the values of x, can only be minus 1 to plus 1, or we write it like this, minus 1 to plus 1. So for a function like sine inverse x, the output should always lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. The input, which is x, the domain, must be numerically less than 1. X must lie from -1 to +1 for sine inverse x.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us now draw the graph of sine inverse x. Let us see what the graph of sine inverse x looks like. Okay, like I said, why is sine inverse x? 1, y must belong, the range must belong to this interval only. I must select only those values of the output that lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. This is the range, and its domain is -1 to +1. Now, we also realize dy dx for sine inverse x is 1 by √1 minus x squared, which is positive.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That means sine inverse x must be an increasing function of x.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
इसका मतलब वो sin inverse x must be an increasing function of x because dy dx positive है.
हाँ, sir.
अब देखो, पहला चीज sin inverse x is defined only when x lies in the interval -1 to +1. इसी इंटरवल में लाई करें. To the right of 1, sin inverse x is not defined. To the left of -1, it's not defined. Right? At x equal to 1, what's the value of sin inverse x? Sin inverse 1, suppose is y, then 1 is sin y must be 90 degrees, right? That means at x is 1, sin inverse 1 must be pi by 2, right? Sin inverse 1 must be pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
So at x equal to 1, इसका वैल्यू एक तो आउटपुट इसी इंटरवल में लाई करेगा. This is y equal to pi by 2 और ये y equal to minus pi by 2, right? Sin inverse x will remain sandwiched between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. At x equal to 1, its value is plus pi by 2. At x equal to -1, sin inverse -1. That's y. That means y निकालना है, sin y is 1. So y का वैल्यू कहां पे लाई करना चाहिए? minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 नहीं. Y is minus pi. Sin y is -1. Sin y is -1. So y must be -1. That means when x is -1, sin inverse x would be minus pi by 2. This is the line y equal to minus pi. So these are 2 points on the graph, and at x equal to 0, sin inverse 0 is 0 because sin 0 is 0. और यहां से आए, that means this is also a point on the graph of the function. This is the graph. Sin increasing function है. This is the graph of y equal to sin inverse x. दो चीज, 1 इसका डोमेन यही है, -1 to +1. रेंज क्या है? minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 इसका रेंज. इसी इंटरवल में लाई करें. And since dy dx is positive, it's an increasing function of x. Sin inverse -1 is pi by 2, sin inverse 1 is plus pi by 2, sin inverse 0 is 0 और इंक्रीज करता है. That ये point of inflection है. X equal to 0 is a point of inflection.
Yes, sir.
Inflection क्या होता है? कॉन्वेक्सिटी से कॉन्केविटी हो जाता है ग्राफ. चेंज फ्रॉम कॉन्वेक्स टू कॉन्केव.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Also need to tell you that sin inverse minus x will be minus sin inverse x, causing sin inverse x to be an odd function of x. ये सब लिख लो. मतलब x पे जो इसका वैल्यू है, minus x पे वैल्यू नेगेटिव ऑफ दिस वैल्यू आता है. x पे ये वैल्यू है, नेगेटिव ऑफ दिस वैल्यू इज दिस. This is sin inverse x, this is sin inverse minus x, and these are negative of each other. It's symmetric about the origin. It's symmetric about the origin.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
An odd function, increasing function, domain -1 to +1, range -π/2 to +π/2.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Achha. Now, if somebody says sine of sine inverse x, first of all, this will be defined if x is numerically less than 1.
Yes, sir.
क्या होना चाहिए इसमें? Otherwise, sine inverse x will not be defined if x doesn't belong to this. This will always be x. This will always be x. Sine of sine inverse x will also always be x. Sine of sine inverse 2/3 will always be 2/3. Sine of sine inverse minus 1/3 will always be -1/3. What about sine of sine inverse 3?
Undefined.
Undefined, because sine inverse will act only on the numbers that lie in the interval -1 to +1. ये नहीं होगा, not possible,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. So sine inverse of sine x तो same है.
Nah. Okay, let me explain that. So sine of sine inverse x will always be x as long as x is numerically less than 1, right?
Yes, sir.
But now, what about sine inverse sine x? Now that's going to be an interesting thing to evaluate. Sine inverse sine x. देखो बेटा, suppose this is y, then would you not want to believe that sine inverse acting on a number should produce an output in the interval -π/2 to +π/2?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So y should lie in the interval -π/2 to +π/2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sine inverse can produce outputs that lie in the interval -π/2 to +π/2, right? Now, let me find out what is y. Now, if sine inverse of London is y, then it means sine x is y, is sine y, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means y is x.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Since y should lie in the interval -π/2 to +π/2, so x should lie in the interval -π/2 to +π/2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That means y will be equal to x. Sine inverse sine x will be equal to x if and only if x, because sin ये x -π/2 to +π/2 में लाई करना चाहिए, क्योंकि sin inverse का आउटपुट -π/2 to +π/2 में लाई करेगा. If x belongs to -π/2 to +π/2, मतलब सोचो, this is important. Suppose I say sin inverse sin π/5. Now π/5 belongs to the interval -π/2 to +π/2.
Yes, sir.
इसका आउटपुट π/5 होगा, no issues. Sin inverse sin minus π/3. minus pi by 3 belongs to this interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2.
Yes,
So
sir.
it could be minus pi by 3 होगा, कोई issue नहीं. This is okay, this is okay. Sin inverse sin x will be x. Sin inverse sin x will be x. If x belongs to the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. ठीक है बेटा?
हाँ,
हाँ
sir.
सर
Yes, sir.
What if x does not belong to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2? ये इतना सा मिटा दें.
हाँ
Yes,
सर
Yes, sir.
What if x does not belong to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2? Then sin inverse sin x will not be equal to x, will not be equal to x, because the output of sin inverse should belong to the interval minus pi by 2. तब ये x के बराबर नहीं होगा. For example, if I said sin inverse sin of say 2 pi by 3, do you think it will be 2 pi by 3? No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, not true. Why? Because 2 pi by 3 is not a principal value of the sin inverse function.
Yes, sir.
Sin inverse, when it acts on anything that is legal, should not produce a number outside this interval. Sin inverse should produce output belonging to this interval. So this is not possible. Sin inverse sin pi by 3 will be pi by 3. Sin inverse sin minus pi by 3 will be minus pi by 3. But sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3 will not be 2 pi by 3. So then what will it be? Let's see. Sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3 is not 2 pi by 3. Is not 2 pi by 3. Okay. Is not 2 pi. So let's figure out what is sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3. ठीक है बेटा?
हाँ,
हाँ
sir.
सर
Yes.
Sin inverse sin 2 pi by 3 is like sin pi minus pi by 3. Right?
यस सर
Yes, sir.
This is sin inverse. But sin pi minus theta is sin theta.
Yes, sir.
Now pi by 3 belongs to the principal value range.
Yes, sir.
This sin inverse का output इसको ना principal values of sin inverse x also भी बोलते हैं. Principal values of sin inverse x. That means sin inverse x will produce output only in this interval, right? So principal values of sin inverse x भी बोलते हैं. Right? So now this will be pi by 3. Right?
Yes,
यस
sir.
सर
Suppose, and please try and understand everything in the class itself, because you might get a little messed up if you start reading a book and try to understand independently. ठीक है, क्लास में सब समझने का कोशिश करना. हाँ? Suppose I say sin inverse sin say 4 pi by 3. Will it be equal to 4 pi by 3?
No, sir.
नो सर
No, sir.
Why not 4 pi by 3? Because 4 pi by 3 doesn't belong to the principal value range of sin inverse. Right? नहीं
Yes,
होगा.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what I do is sin inverse sin 4 pi by 3 is equal to sin inverse sin pi
Pi plus
by
theta.
3. ठीक है बेटा?
हाँ, sir.
But
हाँ.
sin pi plus theta is minus sin theta.
Minus sin theta.
ठीक है? And sin inverse minus x is minus sin inverse x. ठीक है?
हाँ, sir.
So sin inverse minus x I can write as minus sin inverse x. Now अब ये देखो, ये प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू में आता है ना, इसके minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 में आता है.
हाँ
हाँ,
सर
sir.
Sin inverse sin pi by 3 will be pi by 3 and the output की minus ले लो साथ में, तो it will be minus pi by 3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
यस सर
Yes, sir.
Got me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But say कई बार ना थोड़ा और दिमाग लगाना पड़ता है. रेडियंस में दिया है पर ये पाई के टर्म्स में नहीं दिया। सोचो साइन इनवर्स साइन 10 रेडियंस है, ये डिग्रीज नहीं है, ठीक है। अगर कुछ नहीं लिखते हैं ये रेडियंस है। साइन इनवर्स साइन 10 रेडियंस है बेटा, not degrees. Sin inverse sin 10 degrees will be 10 degrees expressed in radians. वो कोई होगा नहीं, because वो minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. But sin inverse sin 10 is not 10, because 10 इस interval में is not 10. Why? Because 10 does not belong to this principal value interval. ये minus 1.57 ये plus 1.57 है, उस interval में थोड़ी लाई करता है 10.
हाँ सर।
हाँ सर।
0.14 by 2 minus 1.57 to plus 1.57. No, it doesn't. So sin inverse sin 10 is not 10. 10 radians में, degrees में नहीं.
यस सर।
हाँ. So क्या करेंगे? ऐसा करो. See, 1 radian करीब करीब कितना डिग्री होता है?
57।
Roughly 57 degrees होता है. एक कैलकुलेशन ना एक रफ मार्जिन में कर लो. Roughly 57 degrees. ठीक है?
हाँ सर।
10 रेडियंस क्या होगा? रफली 570 डिग्रीज होगा।
यस सर।
यस
अब क्या करो, 10 में से ना कुछ इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल ऑफ पाई हटाओ।
यस सर।
कुछ इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल ऑफ इस 570 डिग्रीज में से ना कुछ इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल ऑफ 180 डिग्रीज हटाओ, ऐसे हटाओ सो दैट जो इसका आउटपुट हो ना वो माइनस पाई बाई 2 टू प्लस पाई बाई 2 में लाई करे। जैसे इसमें देखो हम ऐसा करते हैं 3
540।
ठीक है, 3 into 180 डिग्रीज किया तो
हाँ
ये
सर।
आउटपुट क्या हो गया? 30 डिग्रीज हुआ।
हाँ
यस
सर।
सर।
And 30 degrees, that is pi by 6 will lie in this interval.
यस सर।
Yes sir।
Radians में
Yes.
so 570 mapped to 10 radians minus this is 3 times pi radians, ये radians में आया
हाँ सर।
और it theta। अब ये theta जो है ना ये roughly 30 degrees है which is pi by 6 जो इस interval में lie करता है। Theta lies in this interval है ना,
Yes sir।
right? तो अब क्या करो 10 रेडियंस को ना थीटा के टर्म्स में लिखो क्योंकि थीटा प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू में बिलोंग करता है। थीटा बिलोंग्स टू द प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू। थीटा 10 रेडियंस is 3 pi plus theta, right?
हाँ सर।
एक तो पूरा रेडियंस में काम करना है, ये कैलकुलेशन हमको इसमें आसान रहता है इसलिए कर लिया हमने, नहीं तो रेडियंस में ये ऊपर वाला मैप सारा रेडियंस में करना होगा। ठीक है, अब साइन इनवर्स साइन 10 रेडियंस, साइन इनवर्स साइन 10 रेडियंस, 10 रेडियंस इज 3 pi plus theta रेडियंस।
यस सर।
Yes sir।
अब थीटा प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू में है बेटा। अच्छा साइन 3 pi plus theta क्या हो जाएगा बेटा?
माइनस
माइनस साइन थीटा हो जाएगा। ठीक है, अच्छा ये माइनस क्योंकि साइन इनवर्स ऑड फंक्शन है तो ये माइनस बाहर आ जाएगा बच्चे।
हाँ सर।
अब कोई इश्यू नहीं है, थीटा तो लाइज इन द प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू इंटरवल, सो
Yes,
साइन
sir.
इनवर्स साइन थीटा विल बी थीटा, सो दिस विल बी माइनस थीटा।
हाँ सर।
ए व्हाट इज थीटा? थीटा को आप लिख दो 10 minus 3 pi,
यस सर।
यस सर।
minus of 10 minus 3 pi which is 3 pi minus 10, right?
यस सर।
Yes
Yes
sir।
or no? The idea is जो ये एंगल दिया है ना इसमें कुछ इंटीग्रल मल्टीपल ऑफ पाई ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करो ताकि इसका जो आउटपुट आएगा ना वो प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू में लाई करेगा। इस तरीके से करना है,
यस सर।
राइट?
Yes sir।
यस सर।
In fact, let me tell you, sin inverse sin x will be x. So just since you drew my attention to this, so sin inverse sin x is x. Why is sin inverse sin x is x when x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, है ना? बढ़ना नहीं होगा, बढ़ना I'll have to write it in terms of an angle which belongs to the interval minus pi by 2. The graph of sine inverse sine x is like this. When x lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, y is equal to x. Y is sine inverse sine x. Y will be x, right?
Yes, sir.
X equal to pi by 2 क्या हो जाएगा? At x equal to pi by 2 plus, so y is x. When x is pi by 2, y will be pi by 2. जो भी ये साइन इनवर्स है तो y equal to pi by 2 और minus pi by 2 के बीच में है, because y is sin inverse of something. And in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, y is x. Y is x is this one. Sin inverse, अब ये देखो x 90 डिग्री डालोगे तो ये प्लस पाई बाई 2 आ जाएगा, माइनस 90 डिग्री डालोगे तो माइनस पाई बाई 2 आ जाएगा. y is x. Y is x in this interval. In the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, sin inverse sin x will be x. It will be the line y equal to x. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
बात क्या होता है ना, लेट मी टेल यू, और ये ग्राफ थोड़ा याद रख लीजिए. इसके बाद ऐसा होता है, ग्राफ ऐसा जाता है. एंड दिस विल बी सेट ऑफ परपेंडिकुलर लाइंस. जैसे इसका स्लोप 1 है, अगले लाइन का स्लोप -1 होगा और वो पाई पर हिट करेगा. इस लाइन का इक्वेशन हो जाएगा y इक्वल टू, ये +1 है इसका स्लोप, तो इसका स्लोप -1 होगा, -x, and it's becoming 0 at x equal to pi, so -x plus pi will be the equation of this line, y equal to -x plus pi. फिर ये 3 pi by 2 हो जाएगा, फिर ये ऊपर उठ के ऐसा आ जाएगा. ये इसका स्लोप -1 है, इसका स्लोप +1 हो जाएगा, and this will be 2 pi. इस लाइन का इक्वेशन हो जाएगा y equal to x minus 2 pi. +1 है, इसका स्लोप -1 है, तो ये +1 हो जाएगा इसका स्लोप. At x equal to 2 pi, it's becoming 0. That's it. Now the funda is sin inverse sin x has the same periodicity as sin x, 2 pi. तो 0 to 2 pi में जो इसका ग्राफ है ना बेटा, सेम ग्राफ रिपीट होगा. The same graph will get repeated. इस तरफ भी ऐसा हो जाएगा. This is line y equal to x. इसके बाद on this side ये +1 है स्लोप, ये -pi by 2 है, ये -pi हो जाएगा. This will be y equal to -x plus pi, because when x minus x plus
minus pi.
minus pi, because अगर x minus pi है तो y 0 हो जाना है, x minus pi है तो pi minus pi 0 हो जाएगा. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
फिर -3 pi by 2 पे ऐसा आ जाएगा. -2 pi पे हो जाएगा ये ग्राफ. इसका स्लोप -1 है, इसका स्लोप +1 होगा. y equal to x -2 pi. इसका इक्वेशन होगा. और इस तरीके से ग्राफ चलता है. दिस इज हाउ दिस ग्राफ will be. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये स्लोप +1 -1 +1 -1 करके, it's an odd function. Sin inverse sin x odd function है, and its periodicity is 2 pi. जैसा 0 से 2 pi में है, वैसा ही exactly -2 pi to 0 में होगा, वैसा ही 2 pi to 4 pi में होगा, 4 pi to 6 pi में होगा. ये इसका periodicity function. ठीक है. This is the graph of sin inverse sin x.
Yes, sir.
Got me?
Yes, sir.
Can I wipe this out?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So sin inverse sin x will be x only if x belongs to -pi by 2 to +pi by 2. But sin of sin inverse x will be x always.
All-
Yes, sir.
तो वहां पे sin of sin inverse x will be x. इसमें एक ही चीज का ध्यान रखना होगा, ऑब्वियसली ये फंक्शन डिफाइंड ही x
Mod
line
x
between
less than or equal
-1
to
and
1.
+1 है. तो obviously इसमें mod x less than or equal to 1. And I have also demonstrated to you what if x doesn't belong to this interval, then इसको कैसे manipulate करते हैं. I have shared with you. है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that was the story of sin inverse x. All right, beta.
Yes, sir.
So sin inverse x, its domain is mod x less than or equal to 1, x lying between -1 and +1. Its range is, principal value that it assumes is -pi/2 to +pi/2. Sin inverse sin x will be x only if x belongs to -pi/2 to +pi/2. Otherwise, you'll have to manipulate. But sin of sin inverse x will always be x as long as x belongs to the correct domain.
Yes, sir.
Sin inverse x is an odd function of x. Sin inverse x is an odd function of x. Okay? Because sin
Yes, sir.
inverse minus x will be always minus sin inverse x. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Chalo, let's go further. Y equal to tan inverse x. Hey, one thing, tan inverse is defined for all real x. I mean,
Yes,
tan
sir.
y is x. Tan y तो सारा values assume करता है -infinity to +infinity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That means x will assume all possible values -infinity to +infinity.
Yes, sir.
Tan y can assume all values, right?
Yes, sir.
So x is any real number. इसका domain, this is the domain. But tan inverse x again, tan inverse 1 can take an output which it belongs to the first quadrant. Tan inverse 1 can, tan theta can become 1 also in the third quadrant.
Yes, sir.
There are many values, tan inverse 1. So then here also I need to define I need to clip tan inverse x. I need to define the interval in which tan inverse x must lie, the principal value of tan inverse x. I need to define, right?
Yes, sir.
Principal range of tan inverse x. We will allow, this is what I'm allowing. -pi/2 is with open interval -pi/2 to +pi. This can assume values, this is after all an angle, and it can assume all values from -pi/2 to +pi. Extremes included nahi hai isme. Unlike sin inverse had principal values -pi/2 to +pi/2, which included the endpoints of the interval. But tan inverse x will have principal values, will have range, which does not include -pi/2 and +pi/2. So extremes included nahi hai. So round bracket, range of tan inverse x. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Domain is real numbers. Also, let me tell you that tan inverse minus x will be minus tan inverse x, causing tan inverse x to be an odd function of x. To be an odd function of x, right? Now, if I differentiate tan inverse x, I get 1/1 plus x squared.
Yes, sir.
That means tan inverse x must be an increasing function of x.
Yes.
अब इसका let's draw the graph. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, the range of tan inverse x should be -pi/2 to +pi/2 only. ये इसका range रहेगा. This is why इन दोनों लाइंस के बीच में tan inverse x का ग्राफ सैंडविच ट्रायंगल. This is the principal value. अच्छा, tan inverse 0 तो 0 ही होता है because tan 0 is 0.
Yes, sir.
Right? अब कोई बोले what is tan inverse by tan inverse plus pi by 2? Tan inverse plus pi by 2 is theta. That means I'm sorry, tan inverse plus infinity. Tan inverse something is pi by 2. ये कब pi by 2 होता है? When this something is like tan pi by 2 is infinity, then this something is tan pi by 2 which is plus infinity. So tan inverse of a very large real number will be plus pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, and what when I say tan inverse something is minus pi by 2, then this something must be like minus infinity. Tan minus pi by 2 is like minus infinity. That means tan inverse of minus infinity would be minus pi by 2. Tan inverse
Yes, sir.
plus infinity will be pi by 2, and tan inverse minus infinity will be minus pi by 2, and tan inverse 0 is 0. So the graph will look like this, and it's an increasing function. As x tends to minus infinity, tan inverse x tends to minus pi by 2. This is the graph of tan inverse. As x tends to minus infinity, tan inverse x tends to minus pi by 2. As x tends to plus infinity, tan inverse tends to plus pi by 2. It's an odd function of x. Tan inverse minus x would be minus tan inverse x. इसका graph tan inverse, and it's an increasing function of x. Again, do you realize x equal to 0 is a point of inflection? Shape changes from concave to convex.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Differentiate a second time d2y dx2, you will get 2x by 1 plus x square whole squared with a minus sign, which is 0 at x equal to 0, giving you
Yes,
a
sir.
point of inflection. है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये tan inverse x का ग्राफ है. Okay, now the question is like before. Tan of tan inverse x and tan inverse tan x. Let me address that issue, which is very important. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, tan of tan inverse x. यहाँ पे तो x is any real number, will always be x, always. Always. इसमें कोई issue नहीं. But tan inverse tan x. The output of this should always lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this will be equal to x. See, in general, f of f inverse x is x. In general, f inverse fx is x. But इसमें important thing क्या है? ये x should belong to the domain.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Tan of tan inverse x will be x only when, because tan inverse should produce outputs only in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this x belongs to minus pi by 2 to इसमें open interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. तभी हो सकता है. Tan of tan inverse x कोई इश्यू नहीं है, हमेशा x होगा. But tan inverse tan x कब होगा? जब x क्योंकि tan inverse का आउटपुट minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 में लाई करना. So if I said tan inverse tan pi by 4, so ये देखो pi by 4 belongs to this interval. No issues. This will be pi by 4 because pi by 4 belongs to this interval, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Tan inverse tan minus pi by 3. That will be minus pi by 3. No problem. Why? Because minus pi by 3 belongs to this interval. Right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
However, if I said tan inverse and say 3 pi by, okay. Hey, by the way, I told you tan inverse is an odd function. So you likh lo, tan inverse minus x will be minus tan inverse x. Now, this can't be 3 pi by 4. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Because 3 pi by 4 will not belong to this interval. Minus
Yes,
pi
sir.
by 2 to plus pi by 2. So the output of this cannot be 3 pi by 4 this time. अब इसको
Yes,
क्या
sir.
करना होगा?
Pi minus pi by 4.
Tan inverse tan pi minus pi by 4. Tan pi minus theta is minus tan theta, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Since it's an odd function, tan inverse minus of something would be minus tan inverse something.
Yes, sir.
अब ये देखो pi by 4 belongs to this interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So tan inverse tan x now can be x. Minus. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Got me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I said tan inverse and say 20 radians, degrees नहीं है, radians. Now 20, this can't be 20 because 20 radians is not like between minus 1.5 radians to plus 1.5 radians. नहीं है ना? So it can't be 20.
Yes, sir.
What I do is this 20 radians का करीब degrees में क्या हो जाता है? 20 into 57 degrees. Roughly, है ना? Because each radian is 57 degrees. So this is 1140 degrees roughly. अब
Yes, sir.
इस 1140 degrees में से ना कुछ integral multiple of 180 degrees subtract करोगे. Some integer times 180 degrees subtract करोगे so that the output lies in the interval minus 90 degrees to plus 90 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अब ये क्या करेंगे इसमें हम लोग 180 into ये थोड़ा सा ट्रायल से करना होगा 6 1080 होता है ना ये.
हाँ, sir.
हाँ, sir.
कितना हो गया 60 degrees.
हाँ, sir.
अब ये देखो अब 60 degrees which is pi by 3 lies in this interval.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What I do is 20 radians minus this is 6 times pi. Radians में हम काम कर रहे हैं 6 times pi. I call it theta. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now tan inverse tan 20 radians is like tan inverse tan 20. 20 is theta plus 6 pi. 20 I write in terms of theta because theta is a useful guy. Theta lies in this interval,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Pi plus theta. 6 pi is like 0,
Yes, sir.
right? So this is like tan inverse tan theta. Now this is theta. Why? Because theta lies in this interval pi by 3,
Yes, sir.
right? So अब theta क्या है? Theta है 20 minus 6 pi. So the output of this is 20 minus 6 pi. That is tan of tan inverse x. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So tan
Yes,
of tan inverse x will always be x, but tan inverse tan x will be x only when x belongs to the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, you have to manipulate this.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
If I had tan inverse and seven pi by 6. This is like tan in. Because 7 pi by 6 doesn't belong to this interval. So output cannot be 7 pi by 6. This is like tan inverse tan pi plus pi by 6. Tan pi plus theta tan theta होता है.
Yes, sir.
अब ये देखो, now pi by 6 belongs to this interval, so ये pi by 6 हो जाएगा, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Right? All good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So tan inverse x का डोमेन क्या है? X belongs to real numbers.
Yes, sir.
इसका रेंज क्या है या प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू क्या है? -pi by 2 to +pi by 2, which does not include -pi by 2 and +pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
tan inverse x का ग्राफ देखते हैं. Hey, देखो, I'm sorry, tan inverse tan x का तो कोई इश्यू नहीं. Surely tan inverse है, तो इसका output should be in the interval y equal to -pi by 2 to +pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ये पूरा ग्राफ y equal to -pi by 2 और y equal to +pi by 2 के बीच में लाइक है, राइट? X can be any real number,
Yes, sir.
but when see y is tan inverse tan x, it will turn out to be equal to x when x belongs to -pi by 2 to +pi by 2, है ना?
Yes, sir.
देखो x equal to -pi by 2, say x equal to +pi by 2. Where y is x? Where y is x? In this, when x belongs to this interval, it's like the equation, the graph will be like y equal to x, which is a straight line. But
Yes, sir.
देखो, x equal to pi by 2 में क्या है? tan 90, which is undefined.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
At x equal to 90, it's undefined.
Yes, sir. King
X equal
cover.
to -90 be undefined. But when x is 0, tan inverse 0 will be 0. It will be in this interval. It will go like this straight line. Tan inverse tan x will go like this straight line. Where these are kinks.
Yes, sir.
These are hollow points, undefined at these points. Acha.
Yes, sir.
Tan x का periodicity is what?
Pi.
Pi. So tan inverse tan x का भी periodicity will be pi.
Yes, sir.
That means इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि एक लेंथ पाई का, ये लेंथ पाई यूनिट्स है ना, इसमें जैसा ग्राफ है ना, सेम ग्राफ रिपीट होता जाता है.
हाँ, sir.
तो पाई -pi by 2 to pi by 2 जो ग्राफ है ना, फिर एक पाई यूनिट्स ले लो, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2 पाई यूनिट्स ले लो, सेम ग्राफ होगा. सेम ग्राफ होगा, यहाँ पे ठीक हो जाएगा. This will be, this is the line y equal to x, y equal to x के पैरेलल ये लाइन हो जाएगा, और ये बीच में क्या हो जाता है 2 pi. So this is 2 pi pi हो जाता है, pi पे 0 जा रहा है, राइट? और ये हो जाएगा लाइन पैरेलल टू y equal to x बट पासिंग थ्रू pi, so y equal to x minus pi हो जाएगा. फिर क्या हो जाएगा? ऐसा हो जाएगा, ये 2 pi पे फिर 0 हो जाएगा, और ये किंग्स है, यहाँ पर किंग है और यहाँ पर किंग है, एंड दिस विल बी अगेन 5 pi by 2 और pi units ऐड कर दिया तो 5 pi by 2 आ गया. And this is parallel to y equal to x, so ये हो जाएगा y equal to x minus 2 pi, because x equal to 2 pi by y 0. Same kind of thing gets repeated. Zero minus pi. This is y equal to x minus pi. X plus pi, sorry, because x equal to minus pi. Same thing will get. This is the graph of y equal to tan inverse tan x.
Yes, sir.
Still lie between y equal to pi by 2 and y equal to minus pi by 2. और ये देखो ये things. This is the graph of tan inverse tan x. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I write it down?
Yes, sir.
I mean, suppose कोई तुमको बोल दिया ना, कोई एक वैल्यू यहाँ पे देखो. Suppose there was an x here. इस x के लिए tan inverse tan x निकालना. तो इस x के लिए ना, to find y tan inverse tan x, use this equation x minus 2 pi.
Yes.
Although I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do the manipulation that I did earlier. But if you have figured out that this x is somewhere here, तो उसके लिए y ये है, which is a point on the graph y equal to x minus 2 pi. तो ये x का वैल्यू डाल दो तो y का वैल्यू निकल जाएगा इससे. Suppose there is an x here. उसके लिए y निकालना है तो use this equation. Y will be x minus pi. Suppose there is an x here. उसके लिए y निकालना है तो that will be obtained from y equal to x. Suppose there is an x here. उसके लिए y निकालना है, then y equal to x plus pi. Yes,
Yes.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that was tan inverse tan x, whose principal value is minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2, whose domain is all real numbers. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tan inverse x. And it's an increasing function of x. It's an increasing function of x, as you have seen. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, y equal to cosec inverse x. Again, here also we define principal values in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. इसका आउटपुट लेंगे ना, y वही y एक्सेप्ट करेंगे, the y that lies in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Y should have principal value lying in minus pi by 2 to plus pi. If I have to find cosec inverse something, then I'll try and find that angle y whose cosec is y, cosec y is x, but that y should lie in this interval. That's a principal value of cosec inverse x, or the range of cosec inverse x. Same meaning. Range of cosec inverse x is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. However, take a step on that. There is a point where y can become 0. This is the range of y, right? Range of y is 0. अगर y 0 होता है, then do you realize cosec 0 must be x? ऐसा कोई x निकाल सकते हो?
No, sir.
Because cosec 0 is like 1 by sine 0, which is x, which is undefined.
Yes, sir.
इसका मतलब क्या
Yes,
है? ये रेंज सारा नहीं है बेटा, इसमें से ना 0 सब्ट्रैक्ट करना होगा, 0 हटा देना होगा इस रेंज में से.
Yes, sir.
So range is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. इसमें से subtract y equal to 0. Y cannot be 0. ये 0 होने से cosec 0 will be x, but cosec 0 is undefined because that's 1 by sine 0, which is 1 by 0 undefined, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
इसका cosec inverse x का range क्या है? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except 0. Cosec inverse x cannot become 0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For domain मतलब x का interval. Cosec y is x, but we know that cosec square y is 1 plus cot squared y, which is always greater than or equal to 1.
Yes, sir.
इसका मतलब mod cosec y will be greater than or equal to 1. That means mod x will always be greater than or equal to 1.
Yes, sir.
इसका मतलब क्या है? X greater than or equal to 1 or X less than or equal to -1, right? Yes or no? So, what is the domain of this function? Domain X belongs to -∞ से -1 तक जाएगा, -1 इंक्लूडेड है, यूनियन, फिर ये देखो 1 से इंफिनिटी चला जाएगा, 1 से इंफिनिटी। So X must be numerically larger than 1. ये इसका डोमेन। रेंज क्या है? -π/2 to +π/2 excluding 0.
0.
That means -π/2 to 0 union 0 to π/2 इसका रेंज है।
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
ऐसे लिख सकते हैं या इसको ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं, -π/2 to 0
0. Union over 0 to π/2.
0 0 से π/2। 0 देखो इंक्लूडेड नहीं है दोनों अंदर, ऐसे भी
Yes, sir.
ठीक है।
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
इसका ग्राफ बनाते हैं, ठीक है। Let's
Okay,
draw the
Yes,
graph.
sir.
So इसका प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू -π/2 to +π/2 except 0.
Yes, sir.
Let's draw the graph of this. Again, let me tell you that cosec, it's an odd function. Cosec inverse -x is minus cosec inverse x. Odd function. Also, it's defined only to the left of -1 or to the right of 1. ठीक है, इसका रेंज क्या है बेटा? रेंज है principal value cosec inverse x can take values from y equal to -π/2 to y equal to +π/2 except y equal to 0. Y equal to 0 is the x-axis. No point on the graph will be on the x-axis.
Yes, sir.
All right. इस इंटरवल में लाई करेगा। अच्छा, और एक चीज है, dy/dx इसका क्या होता है? -1/x√x² -1 होता है cosec inverse x का डेरिवेटिव, क्योंकि नेगेटिव हुआ।
Yes, sir.
डिक्रीजिंग फंक्शन है,
Yes, sir.
राइट? डिक्रीजिंग फंक्शन है।
Yes, sir.
अब देखो cosec inverse 1 क्या होगा? cosec inverse 1 is theta, cosec theta is 1. ये कब होगा? theta equal to 90 degrees है ना?
Yes, sir.
cosec inverse 1, that means when x is 1, y is π/2. Y is π/2, cosec inverse 1. So this is the point on the graph of the function, right?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, cosec inverse -1, -1, suppose that's theta, then -1 is cosec theta. That means sin theta is -1, theta is -π/2, है ना? That means when x is -1, cosec inverse -1 is -π/2. This is the point on the graph of the function. But this graph, इसका domain क्या है? To the right of 1 or to the left of -1. The graph will exist to the right of 1 or to the left of 1. इस interval में no portion of the graph will lie, right? Or decrease कर रहा है, or decrease कर रहा है, right? What happens as x tends to infinity? What happens to y? Y is cosec inverse x. Cosec y is x, right? Or sin y is 1/x.
Yes, sir.
अब ये देखो, what happens as x tends to infinity? As x tends to plus infinity, sin y tends to 0. and y tends to 0.
Yes, sir.
तो decrease करा है, x tends to infinity, y tends to 0. Yes or no? और ये डिक्रीज कर रहा है हर जगह. अगेन एज x, इसको वापस देखोगे, x tends to minus infinity, y will tend to 0 but from the less than 0 side. You can check that out, and this is a point on the graph of the function. As x tends to minus infinity, y will still tend to 0. This is the graph of cosec inverse x. This is the graph of cosec inverse x.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so what have we learned about cosec inverse x? Its domain mod x greater than or equal to 1. Range minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except y equal to 0. Cosec inverse x cannot be 0. It's decreasing. It's an odd function of x. It's decreasing and it's an odd function.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The three functions that we have studied so far: sin inverse x, tan inverse x, cosec inverse x. ये सबका रेंज क्या है? माइनस पाई बाई 2 to plus pi by 2. sin inverse x में minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 are included. tan inverse में those are excluded. cosec inverse में endpoints are included, but बीच में एक point 0 is excluded.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Again, let me tell you. अगर कोई बोलेगा cosec of cosec inverse x, of course ये तो define तभी होगा when x is numerically greater than 1. That will be x as long as x is greater than or equal to 1. क्योंकि x less than 1 होगा तो cosec inverse x define भी नहीं होगा, right?
Yes, sir.
So true always. इसमें कोई issue ही नहीं, never an issue. But cosec inverse cosec x, that will be x. देखो cosec inverse का output should always lie in the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this will be x only when
Minus pi by 2 to 0.
x belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except x equal to 0. ये 0 नहीं होगा क्योंकि है ना cosec inverse. फिर ये 0 x equal to 0 हो जाने से क्या हो जाएगा? 1 by sin 0, वो जो undefined होगा.
हाँ, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So cosec inverse cosec x will be x. That means if I said cosec inverse cosec pi by 4, this will be pi by 4, no issues, because it belongs to this interval, right? If I said cosec inverse cosec minus pi by 10, कोई issue नहीं है, that will be minus pi by 10, because that belongs to this interval, no issues. But if I said cosec inverse cosec, say 5 radians, पहले simple लेते हैं, radians छोड़ो पहले. cosec inverse 2 pi by 3 suppose. This will not be 2 pi by 3. क्यों बच्चा?
Principal value में नहीं लाई
Principal
करता.
value.
इस इंटरवल में नहीं लाई करेगा.
Yes, sir.
कैसे
Yes,
करेगा?
sir.
This is cosec inverse cosec pi minus pi by 3. Cosec inverse cosec pi minus theta is cosec theta.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this will be pi by 3, no issues, because pi by 3 now belongs to this interval. No issues with this.
Yes, sir.
Let me switch on the light. Now give me a moment. It's getting a little darker. Yeah. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I write this up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I said cosec inverse cosec 6 radians है, डिग्रीज नहीं है बेटा, ये रेडियंस। 6 रेडियंस क्या होता है, करीब 6 into 57 डिग्रीज 342 डिग्रीज, ठीक है।
Yes.
अच्छा 342 में क्या सब्ट्रैक्ट करोगे ताकि -90 टू +90 के बीच में आ जाए बेटा? 3 यू कैन सब्ट्रैक्ट 360 है ना,
Yes, sir.
दैट मींस यू कैन सब्ट्रैक्ट 2 into 180, तो ये क्या हो जाता है, ये -18 डिग्रीज हो जाता है रफली।
हाँ सर।
-18 is like from -90 to +90, not an issue, ठीक
Yes,
है। अब ये देखो, that means from 6 radians I subtract 2 pi, if that gives me theta, then this theta belongs to the right interval, eligible
Yes, sir.
candidate,
Yes, sir.
right?
yes, sir.
अब देखो ठीक है, अब cosec inverse cosec 6 I write as follows, cosec inverse cosec 6 is क्या, 2 pi plus theta, ठीक है। थीटा के टर्म्स में लिख लो, थीटा हम लोग का 0 है, which is cosec inverse cosec 2 pi plus theta is cosec theta. Now
Yes, sir.
theta belongs to the right interval, -pi/2 to +pi/2, so this will be theta, and this theta is 6 minus 2 pi, that's how 6 minus 2 pi. So cosec inverse cosec 6 turns out to be 6 minus 2 pi,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
cosec inverse cosec x का ग्राफ बनाते हैं।
Okay, sir.
Draw the graph of cosec inverse x. Let's draw the graph of cosec inverse cosec x. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This will be x only when x belongs to -pi/2 to +pi/2 minus 0. 0 एक isolated point है इसमें। That means y will be x when x belongs to this. इसका graph. अब ये देखो cosec inverse है ना, तो जो भी होगा ग्राफ इट विल lie between -pi/2 to +pi/2. cosec inverse तो इसी में लाइन है, ठीक है। अच्छा, when x belongs to this interval except x equal to 0, when x belongs to -pi/2 to +pi/2, it will go like the line y equal to x. It will go like the line y equal to, principal value में y equal to x ही होगा हर ग्राफ का। y is x when x belongs to this, but इसमें x equal to 0 exclude करना होगा बेटा, ये किंग दे दो, give a hollow dot, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
अब इसके बाद ये this is the line y equal to x। अब ना बेटा वही alternate perpendicular lines आ जाएंगे इसमें,
2 pi time period है।
इस टाइप की लाइंस आ जाएंगी दोनों तरफ, on both sides you're going to get these lines. ये +1 है और ये पाई हो जाएगा, पाई हो जाएगा, ये पाई हो जाएगा। देखो सब x equal to n pi पे प्रॉब्लम है, बिकॉज़ x equal to n pi पे ना 1 by sin x is undefined.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
X
sir.
equal to n pi पे प्रॉब्लम है इस ग्राफ में, है ना। Again, cosec x has periodicity 2 pi. Cosec inverse cosec x का भी periodicity 2 pi होगा, तो it's enough to draw the graph in this interval. बाकी देखो -2 to 0 में जैसा है, 0 to 2 pi में वैसा रहेगा, 2 pi to 4 pi में वैसा रहेगा, and so on so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Perpendicular line. ये y equal to x है, ये लाइन का स्लोप -1 हो जाएगा, -x plus pi हो जाएगा, because at x equal to pi 0 होगा. इसका -1 स्लोप है, इसका +1 स्लोप हो जाएगा. This will be x minus 2 pi हो जाएगा इसका. x equal to 2 pi पे. इसका +1 स्लोप है, इसका स्लोप -1 होगा. This will be y equal to -x plus 3 pi. ऐसा चलता जाएगा. इस तरफ क्या हो जाएगा, ये y equal to x है, तो इसका स्लोप होगा -1, y equal to -x, और x equal to pi पे 0 हो जाएगा, तो ये प्लस pi हो जाएगा, -pi, because x equal to -pi पे ये प्लस pi minus pi 0 हो जाएगा. This will be y equal to x plus 2 pi, because x equal to -2 pi पे ये 0 है, और ये इसका स्लोप -1 है, ये +1, ये ट्रेंड फॉलो करेगा. दिस इज द of cosec inverse cosec x. उसका पीरियोडिसिटी 2 pi. ये complete representation है. 0 to 2 pi, 2 pi to 4 pi, -2 pi to 0. The same graph you can copy paste.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So cosec inverse odd function, principal value -pi/2 to +pi/2 except 0. Domain mod x greater than or equal to 1. Got me?
Yes, sir.
And cosec inverse cosec x. Principal value में, whenever x is in the principal value interval, then the graph will be y equal to x. Always. सब inverse के लिए. देखो सब में सेम ही हुआ है, ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, अब आते हैं cos inverse x में. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
have to understand all of this and remember all of this. सब याद भी रखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है?
हाँ, sir.
Yes, sir.
अब cos inverse में क्या है ना बेटा, इसमें -pi/2 to +pi/2 नहीं ले सकते, because -pi/2 to 0 में भी पॉजिटिव है और 0 to pi/, that means इसमें फिर अगर तो इस in this case the principal value by range or principal value is 0 to pi. इसमें 0 to pi. Cos inverse x will always assume values from 0 to pi. इसमें वो एंगल खोजो, cos inverse x will be that angle y that will lie in the interval 0 to pi. And like before, the numerical value of x should always be less than or equal to 1, x less than or equal to 1, greater than or equal to -1.
Yes, sir.
इसका ग्राफ d by dx is -1/√1 minus x squared. So y must be a decreasing function of x,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Let me draw the graph of cos inverse x. First of all, ये ग्राफ नहीं करेगा -1 से +1 में, x equal to -1 to +1. That's a domain. This is the domain. Sin inverse x, cos inverse x दोनों का डोमेन होता है mod x less than or equal to 1. ये होता है इसका रेंज. Range मतलब y will take values only from 0 to y equal to pi. This is y equal to pi. Cos inverse -1 क्या होता? -1. Would you not think it's pi because cos pi is
Yes, sir.
-1? So cos inverse -1 is pi. That means at x equal to -1, y is pi. This is the point. And what is, I'm sorry, cos inverse -1. What is cos inverse 1?
0.
0, because cos 0 is 1. That means this is a point on the graph of the function. What is cos inverse 0? Pi by 2.
Pi by 2.
Why? Because cos 90 is 0. So when x is 0, y is pi by 2. So 0 comma pi. फिर ये decrease करना है. When x is 0, y is pi. Cos inverse x even है कि odd?
Even.
बेटा even function का कभी inverse हो सकता है?
हाँ सर.
Even function का inverse नहीं हो सकता. अगर even होता तो उसका inverse नहीं हो सकता. Even function का inverse हो सकता है नहीं ना, because वो many to one हो जाएगा ना.
हाँ yes sir.
Inverse के लिए 1 to 1 इसका cos inverse x का inverse होता है cos x.
Yes sir.
1 to 1 bijective होना होता है ना. 1 to 1 is bijective.
Yes sir.
So it can't be an even function, beta. No trigonometric function can ever be an even function. No inverse trigonometric can be even. या तो वो जो पहले तीन के वो सारे odd थे. Cos inverse x, sec inverse x, cot inverse x. They are neither even nor odd. एक हम derive नहीं कर रहे हैं, but यहाँ से दिख भी रहा है वैसे it's neither even nor odd, है ना? But let me tell you this result. Cos inverse minus x will be pi minus cos inverse x. Cos inverse minus x will be pi minus cos inverse x.
Yes sir.
Cos inverse x is neither even nor odd. Neither even nor odd. Cos inverse minus x is pi minus cos inverse x. So सोचो, ठीक है?
Yes sir. मतलब
Yes.
odd होगा या तो odd नहीं होगा या even नहीं होगा.
Sin inverse, cosec inverse, tan inverse, odd है.
Yes sir.
और बाकी तीन जो है ना, sec inverse, cos inverse, cot inverse, हम दिखा अभी लिख भी देंगे बोर्ड पे. ये neither even nor odd, neither even nor odd.
Okay sir.
Even होता तो बेटा invertible नहीं होता ना.
Many
Function
to one.
होता पर invertible नहीं होता.
Many to one होया था sir.
Many to one, है ना?
Yes sir.
Now, can I write this out?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Cos inverse x का डोमेन क्या है? Mod x less than or equal to 1. रेंज क्या है? इसका प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू है 0 to pi. y equal to 0 to y equal to pi के बीच में ये ग्राफ लाई करेगा.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, see, cos of cos inverse, of course, mod x has to be less than 1. Cos of cos inverse x is x. Always. As long as
Mod x less than 1.
mod x less than 1. क्योंकि mod x greater than 1 में तो ये डिफाइंड ही नहीं होगा cos inverse
Okay.
x. इसमें कोई इश्यू नहीं. Cos of cos inverse x never an issue. But y equal to cos inverse cos x. See, after this session, you know, a lot of things in differential calculus that involved inverse functions. Now you can go and address those things now. See, उस समय हम नहीं बताया because this was itself by itself a monstrous topic. So, you know, in the midst of calculus, if I had to teach you this, then, you know, it'll kill the flavor of calculus. But now those problems which involved extensively inverse circular, you know, after my treatise on inverse circular, you'll be able to do those things better.
Yes.
Now, y is cos inverse cos x. Okay.
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
ये क्या हमेशा x होगा? नहीं.
तभी होगा जब
Yes,
x
sir.
belongs to 0 to pi.
इसका प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू क्या है 0 to pi,
Yes, sir.
0 to pi. तो अगर x, so cos inverse should produce an output only 0 to pi,
Yes, sir.
but
Yes,
if
sir.
x is not in the interval 0 to pi, then it can't be equal to x.
Yes, sir.
Cos inverse का output 0 to pi नहीं होना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
X only when x belongs to 0 to pi. Suppose if I say cos inverse cos pi by 3, ये हो जाएगा pi by 3, not a problem, right? Because pi by 3 belongs to the interval 0 to pi. If I say cos inverse cos 3 pi by 4, that will be 3 pi by 4. क्यों बेटा? Because 3 pi by 4 belongs to the interval 0 to pi, never relation. Right?
Yes, sir.
But if I said cos inverse cos minus pi by 4, will this be minus pi by 4? No.
No, sir.
Why? Because minus pi by 4 doesn't belong to the interval 0 to pi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now what I'll have to do is, this I'll have to write as cos of
Minus 5 plus 3 by
cos
5.
minus theta is cos theta.
Yes, sir.
So cos now pi by 4 belongs to that interval, so this will be pi by 4. Right? It will not be minus pi by 4. Better.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because minus pi by 4 doesn't belong to 0 to pi.
Principal value में नहीं आता.
Right, right. अब सोचो cos inverse बेटा cos say 5 pi by 4. ठीक है? इसको I'll write as cos inverse cos
5 plus pi by 4.
right? Cos pi plus theta is minus cos theta beta.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is cos inverse cos pi plus theta minus cos theta. अब ये सारा problem है.
5 minus.
Right. Cos inverse minus x क्या हो जाएगा? It will be pi minus cos inverse x, right? So अब ये
Yes.
cos inverse minus x है. This will be
sir.
pi minus cos inverse x, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cos inverse minus x is what? Pi minus cos inverse x. X is cos pi by 4. ठीक है बच्चा?
हाँ, sir.
So this is what pi minus. अब कोई problem नहीं. Cos inverse cos pi by 4 will be pi by 4. Why? Because pi by 4 belongs to this interval. So this will be 3 pi by 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Got me?
Yes, sir.
So cos of cos inverse x will be x. But cos inverse cos x will be x only if
X belongs to 0
X
to pi.
belongs to 0.
otherwise you'll have to manipulate like I did. And cos inverse x is not an even function, not an odd function. It's neither even nor odd because cos inverse minus x will be pi minus cos inverse x.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
In fact, let me draw the graph of देखो इन द इसका प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू क्या है cos इनवर्स का 0 to pi. So cos inverse will lie between y equal to 0, which is this, to y equal to pi by cos inverse like that. And why is cos inverse cos x? That will be x when x belongs to 0 to pi. When x belongs to 0 to pi. So जब x 0 to pi में lie करेगा ना, then the graph will be y equal to x. Then the graph will be y equal to x. Y equal to x होगा. अच्छा. Cos x का periodicity 2 pi है. Cos inverse cos x will also have periodicity 2 pi.
Yes, sir.
बाद में क्या होगा ना बेटा सेम इस तरीके की लाइंस आती रहेंगी 0 और पाई के बीच में ही लाई करेंगे ये सारी लाइंस इस टाइप की लाइंस. अच्छा cos inverse cos x is it even or odd?
Nice.
ये even है because if you replace x by minus x cos minus x is cos x.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cos
Oh,
inverse
yes.
cos x is even. So cos inverse cos x का invertible function नहीं निकाल सकोगे,
हाँ, sir.
Yes.
हाँ, sir.
right? Cos inverse cos x will be even. However, cos inverse x is neither even nor odd. Cos inverse cos x is even. जो भी है 0 pi 2 pi 3 pi 4 pi 5 pi 6 pi y equal to x 0 to pi में कोई इशू नहीं है, but pi to 2 pi perpendicular to this line will आएगा, y equal to minus x plus 2 pi will आएगा, because x equal to 2 pi पे is given. ये -1 है स्लोप, इसका स्लोप +1 हो जाएगा, y equal to x minus 2 pi
Yes, sir.
है ना, ये y equal to
Minus x plus 3 pi.
plus 4 pi होता है,
हाँ, 4 pi. हाँ.
ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
इस तरफ भी सेम ग्राफ है, y equal to minus x. अब ये देखो ना, ये इवन फंक्शन है, तो प्लस x के लिए जो इसका वैल्यू होना चाहिए ना, माइनस x के लिए भी सेम वैल्यू.
Yes, sir.
जीरो और पाई के बीच में
Symmetric about y axis.
सिमेट्रिक, और इसका पीरियोडिसिटी इज 2 पाई, ये सेम
Yes, sir.
रेप्लिकेट हो रहा है, देखो -2 पाई से 0 के बीच में, 0 to 2 पाई, 2 पाई to 4 पाई, 4 पाई to 6 पाई, एक ट्रायंगल आ रहा है. दिस इज द ग्राफ ऑफ cos inverse cos x,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
राइट.
Yes, sir.
So cos inverse x, domain mod x less than or equal to 1, range क्या है 0 to pi. Cos inverse x even है कि odd, neither even nor odd. Why? Because cos inverse minus x is pi minus cos inverse.
Minus x.
Cos of cos inverse x तो हमेशा x होगा, but cos inverse cos x will be x only if x belongs to 0 to pi,
Pi.
right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Am I confusing you?
No,
No,
sir.
I'll just sip a little water if you can stand by for 1 or 2 minutes. Y equal to cot inverse x. इसमें cot y is x, cot y तो सारा पॉसिबल वैल्यूज ले सकता है, जो tan y ले सकता है सारा cot y ले सकता है.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that means x can be any real number.
Yes, sir.
So इसका domain is real numbers, all real numbers is the domain of this, right? इसका भी जो रेंज होगा ना, y रेंज और प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू zero to pi, y will belong to 0 to pi. 0 और pi इस बार इंक्लूडेड नहीं, क्यों नहीं है? So suppose y is 0, तो cot inverse x क्या हो जाएगा? Cot 0 is x, but cot 0 is what? Cos 0 by sin 0?
Yes.
Undefined.
Undefined, not possible, right? Similarly, pi होने से क्या हो जाता है? Cot pi is x, cos pi by sin pi 0 है, देखो डिनोमिनेटर 0 है, undefined, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
क्या है इसका जो रेंज, अनलाइक cos इनवर्स, cot इनवर्स का जो रेंज है ना, उसमें 0 और pi इंक्लूडेड नहीं. its range is cot inverse will produce output from 0 to pi. Cot inverse will produce an output only from 0 to pi, but never 0 or pi.
Yes, sir.
Domain क्या है? All real numbers. It's defined for all real numbers. X can be any real number. I can find its cot inverse. I can find cot inverse of any real number. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also, look at dydx. Minus 1 by 1 plus x squared, which is less than 0. Right?
Yes, sir.
Y is a decreasing function of x.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
इसका ग्राफ ऐसा होता है. जीरो टू पाई में कभी जीरो भी नहीं होगा और कभी पाई भी नहीं होगा. बस जीरो और पाई के बीच में लाई करेगा कॉट इनवर्स एक्स और डिक्रीज करेगा. कॉट इनवर्स जीरो क्या हो जाएगा? Zero will be pi by 2 because cot 90 is 0. Cot 90 is 0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
मतलब जब x 0 है तो y will be pi by 2. And then इसका ना ग्राफ ऐसा होगा. सोच लेना. This is the graph of cot inverse. As x tends to minus infinity, y tends to pi. As x tends to plus infinity, y tends to 0, but never becomes 0, never becomes pi. Right? This is the graph
Yes,
of cot inverse x. And cot inverse x is neither even nor odd. Is neither even nor odd. And in fact, पहले जैसे cos inverse था उसमें cot inverse में भी ये same चीज है. Cot inverse minus x will be pi minus cot inverse x. Cot inverse minus x is pi minus cot inverse x. जैसे cos inverse में जिसका रेंज 0 से पाई होगा ना वो नाइदर इवन नॉर ऑड होगा. जिसका रेंज या प्रिंसिपल वैल्यूज माइनस पाई बाई 2 से प्लस पाई बाई 2 होगा ना वो ऑड होगा. और जिसका 0 से पाई होगा वो नाइदर इवन नॉर ऑड होगा. उसके लिए ये इक्वेशन होल्ड करेगा.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, like before, cot of cot inverse x will always be x for all real x. ये तो हर real x के लिए defined, always, not an issue. Cot of cot inverse x हमेशा x होगा. But cot inverse cot x, cot inverse should produce an output in the interval 0 to pi, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this will be x only when
X
x
belongs to 0 to pi.
belongs to 0 to pi.
Open interval.
Otherwise, nahi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if I said cot inverse cot say pi by 6. अब ये देखो 5 pi by 6 belongs to this interval.
Yes, sir.
Obviously.
Yes, sir.
Cot inverse cot pi by 8. ये pi by 8 हो. Because pi by 8 lies in the interval 0 to pi. Right? If I said cot inverse cot say minus pi by 3 suppose. Say yeah, minus pi by 6 suppose. That will not be minus pi by 6.
Yes, sir.
Because इनवर्स माइनस पाई बाई 6 इस
Does
इंटरवल
not.
में lag करेगा। इसका आउटपुट ना 0 to पाई में ही लाइव करना चाहिए कॉट इनवर्स का आउटपुट, राइट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो ये क्या करेंगे इसमें कॉट
Minus cot pi by 6. Pi minus cot pi by 6.
राइट? अब देखो कॉट इनवर्स माइनस x
Pi
is
minus cot.
minus cot inverse x।
Yes, sir.
अब ये pi by 6 lies in the interval 0 to pi, so this will be pi minus up pi by 6 हो जाएगा, ये pi by 6 हो
Yes, sir.
जाएगा। हाँ, yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Did I draw the graph of cot inverse x?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Cot of cot inverse x का ग्राफ बना, cot inverse cot x का, सॉरी। अब ये देखो y will be x when x lies in the interval 0 to pi, पहले तो ये 0 to pi के बीच में ही lie करेगा। The x axis is y equal to 0, so cot inverse will always lie from 0 to pi. This is y equal to 0, y equal to pi. X equal to 0, cot 0 undefined है ना,
हाँ, sir.
Sir.
cos 0 by sin 0, तो x equal to 0 पे तो there is a hole, और 0 to pi में this will become y will be x, principal value में y will be x, yes no, but x equal to pi में फिर undefined हो जाएगा क्योंकि cos pi by sin pi undefined हो जाएगा, sin pi 0।
ऐसे चलता रहेगा क्योंकि pi time period है.
अब ये बेटा ऐसे ही चलता रहेगा, गेम जो है ना, क्योंकि cot x का पीरियोडिसिटी पाई है, 0 से पाई में जैसा है, पाई से 2 पाई में भी वैसा होगा, 2 पाई से 3 पाई में भी वैसा होगा। ये सपोज y इक्वल टू x होगा, ये y इक्वल टू x माइनस पाई हो जाएगा बिकॉज x इक्वल टू पाई पे 0 है, ये पैरेलल लाइन से, अब पैरेलल लाइन से y इक्वल टू x माइनस 2 पाई पे ये हो जाएगा, x माइनस 3 पाई पे ऐसा हो जाएगा, माइनस पाई y इक्वल टू x प्लस पाई ऐसा हो जाएगा। Y equal to x plus 2 pi and so on. This is the graph of cot inverse cot x.
Yes, sir.
Whenever x is n pi, it's undefined. Okay, x equal to n pi में cos n pi by sin n pi 0 हो जाता है, problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The graph of cot inverse cot x. Can I wipe this off?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And did I tell you cot inverse minus x will be pi minus cot inverse x? It's neither
Yes.
even nor odd. Y equal to cot inverse x. Domain x real numbers. Range 0 to pi. 0 and pi not included. Right? Cot
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
inverse
Yes,
cot
sir.
x will be x only when x belongs to 0 to pi. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, y is sec inverse x. इसमें भी क्या है? देखो, sec y is x, right? Sec square y is 1 plus tan square y, which is always greater than or equal to 1. That means mod sec y will be greater than or equal to 1. That means mod x will be greater than or equal to 1. That means इसका domain will be x greater than or equal to 1 or x less than or equal to minus 1. This is the domain. cos इन sec इनवर्स का भाई cos इनवर्स है, तो cos इनवर्स का प्रिंसिपल वैल्यूज या रेंज 0 to पाई होता है, sec इनवर्स का भी वही होता है। y belongs to 0 to पाई,
पाई यहाँ पाई बाय 2 को एक्सक्लूड करना पड़ेगा यहाँ से।
एक्सक्लूड करना है, 0 इंक्लूड हो जाएगा, पाई भी इंक्लूड हो जाएगा। क्यों भाई? क्योंकि अगर y पाई बाय 2 है, सपोज y इज पाई बाय
1 बाय cos पाई बाय 2 यहाँ डिफाइंड हो जाएगा।
2, तो देखो sec पाई बाय 2 आ जाता है, is x, but sec पाई बाय 2 is 1 by cos 90, 1 by 0, undefined, 1 by 0, ठीक है। तो इसका रेंज क्या है? ये रेंज है sec इनवर्स x का रेंज है 0 to पाई, जिसमें से एक्सक्लूड पाई बाय 2,
यस सर,
राइट?
Yes, sir.
यस सर,
yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, so domain is mod x greater than or equal to 1, range is 0 to pi excluding pi by 2. इसका ग्राफ क्या हो जाएगा बच्चा? dy dx plus b x root x square minus 1,
यस सर,
positive, y is increasing. Also, let me tell you sec inverse minus x, pi minus sec inverse x, pi minus sec inverse x. So neither even nor odd. जिसका 0 से पाई में रेंज है, that's going to be neither even nor odd.
यस सर,
Even तो वैसे भी नहीं हो सकता,
Yes,
वन
sir.
नाइन मल्टीपल नहीं होगा।
1 हो जाएगा।
यस सर,
Range 0 or pi included, 0 to pi excluding pi by 2. Y cannot तब समझ में आ गया होगा 0 to pi, this is y equal to 0, y equal to pi. अच्छा, क्या होगा? At x equal to 0, sec inverse 0. अच्छा नहीं, एक चीज और, it's defined only for x greater than or equal to 1 or x less than or equal to minus 1,
Minus 1.
right?
यस सर,
Mod x has to be greater than or equal to 1. That means इस इंटरवल में ग्राफ एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करेगा, ये यहाँ से शुरू होता है. So when
हाँ,
x sec inverse 1 क्या हो जाएगा बेटा? 0.
यस सर,
0 is 1. Sec inverse 1 is 0. Right? Sec inverse, so this is the point of the graph. Sec inverse minus 1 pi हो जाएगा, because sec pi is minus 1. Sec pi is minus 1. Sec pi is the same as cos pi. Minus 1.
Yes, sir.
X is minus 1. Y big sec inverse minus 1 is pi. Minus 1 comma pi, it's a point. 1 comma pi, 1 comma 0 is a point. Sec inverse x लेना बेटा, as x tends to pi by 2. This is the line y equal to pi by 2. As x tends to pi by 2, see sec y is x. As x tends to pi by 2, or rather, sorry, as y tends to pi by 2, as y tends to pi by 2, sec y tends to plus infinity. Yes or no? Because 1 by cos y tends to 0. Sec y tends to plus infinity. So x tends to plus infinity, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
As x tends to plus infinity, y tends to plus pi. Similarly, इस पार्ट का देख लो अपने आप। As x tends to minus infinity, y will tend to pi by 2. Y will again tend to pi by 2. But from the greater than pi by 2. But from the greater, as y is greater than pi by 2, sec y will be negative but will become larger and larger. Right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Second. So sec inverse x, domain mod x greater than or equal to 1, range 0 to pi, excluding pi by 2. Sec inverse x, even if you odd, neither even nor odd. Sec inverse minus x will be pi minus sec inverse x. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Again, पहले जैसे sec of sec inverse x will be x. Of course, इसमें x का domain
Mod is greater than 1.
greater than or equal to 1 always. However, sec inverse sec x will be x only when x belongs to 0 to pi.
Excluding pi by 2.
Excluding pi by 2. Pi by 2 नहीं होना चाहिए. Sec inverse का output कभी pi by 2 नहीं होगा. Sec inverse का output can never be pi by 2. In fact, इसका जो ग्राफ है वो ऐसा होगा. जीरो टू पाई में ही लाई करेगा, 0 to pi, but y equal to pi by 2 में ना चेंज होगा, क्योंकि y can't be pi by 2. और इसका प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू इज 0 to pi. When x runs from 0 to pi, this will go like pi equal to x. पहले जैसे बच्चे लोग गए थे, x equal to pi by 2 में y pi by 2 में ये ऐसा चेंज करेंगे. अच्छा, ये ना इवन फंक्शन है, x की जगह माइनस x डाल दोगे तो sec inverse sec x will remain the same. तो ये ना ऐसा आ जाएगा. minus pi by 2 making y equal to x. Designer graph is y equal to minus x. ये y equal to x है, y equal to x minus 3 pi by 2 ऐसे कर. नहीं, ये minus x plus 3 by perpendicular lines आते हैं x plus minus x. और ये y equal to pi by 2 पे ना हर जगह there is a 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, second verse, second. So I think for day 1 on inverse circular functions, this should suffice, but I have to teach you many more things. But this much for today.